Good morning from the MisChief Gallery and MisChief ArtWorx Collective at 1201 Robert Blvd in Slidell, Louisiana. And I want to highlight something very special to me in this video this morning. A very special painting by one of my very talented artists, Keith DeLong. And this one is called Who Do Your Voodoo. And this is Keith's Lady Orleans. You've seen her in some of his other paintings. She's part of a series. So this is one of the newer paintings. This particular painting is sold. It is not available. However, we do have canvas prints, limited edition numbered canvas prints 1 to 100 here available at MisChief ArtWorx Collective. But I want to show you some particulars about this painting because it's very special to me. My husband Dean and I purchased it immediately upon seeing it once Keith had completed it. And part of the reasons why is that my MisChief doll, my MisChief celebration of the albino alligator, little swamp doll, is featured in this particular painting. And I just love it. Keith did an amazing job. So let's look at the little doll first of all. I want to show you one feature of this little doll that really strikes me. If you look at nothing else but the center bead on her necklace, it's very textured, it's very white, doesn't show up so much in and about by itself. However, when you transfer over to this painting and look at the rendition that Keith did of this little doll, it's just amazing. Look at the detail he got on her little bead, her little center bead. Also this silver piece, fabulous. And he captured the little shells. Absolutely wonderful rendition of this doll. Put into a beautiful painting by Keith. And there you see the buttons on her face that make up the button collage. Throw me something, Mr. Face. There are a lot of artists who have talked about putting my dolls in their paintings, but it's never happened until Keith did this. And he has done an amazing job. So let me tell you a little bit about this painting. This is Lady Orleans. She is one of Keith's characters and one of the main features in a lot of his paintings. Up above here you'll see Lady Orleans in the French Quarter, Lady Orleans in Cemetery Number 1 in New Orleans in front of Marie Laveau's tomb, and Lady Orleans getting on the streetcar. And his newest painting, Lady Orleans with Marie Laveau, featured in the French Quarter with Dr. John. Ozzy Osbourne's in the crowd. And this is called Lady Orleans, Marie Laveau, Hurricane Party. But let's go down and break this one down. I am mesmerized by this painting. Like I said, it's sold. Dean and I own it. It is permanently installed here at the MisChief Gallery. You can come in and see it every day of the week. It's front and center, and sitting right next to it in our display is the doll that is featured. She's no longer for sale. She is forever tied to this painting. So this particular painting shows Lady Orleans. She's brewing up a magnolia. It's fabulous. She has a great expression on her face. I love Keith's color. His colors are fabulous. And when Keith came into my shop to look at this little doll, the particular day he picked her out, he had decided he was going to put a MisChief doll in one of his paintings. So he chose this doll. And he walked over to her and studied her for 10 or 15 minutes. Went home. 4 weeks later, I got a picture of this magnificent painting. And there she is. What he also noticed when he was in here was that I had a little bit of a fairy display going on featuring one of the books I have by Kristen Cady, A Baby Fairy Story. And so Keith put some fairies in a bottle. There's a fairy on top of the bottle trying to get the fairies out. And down here, I like to call her the fairy in the wine glass. Maybe had a little bit too much to drink, but there she is, hanging out on the swizzle stick. And look at that little frog. He's got some Tony Chachere's there. Got himself a snack. Has some wine, very cute. K. Wayne Art, that's what Keith is known as. Keith DeLong, K. Wayne Art. And up here we have the skeleton heads, mom and dad. Keith's mom and dad. Keith was raised by his grandmother. Those happen to be his mother's favorite flowers. Keith likes to go out into the woods where he lives in Franklinton, Louisiana. And he's been collecting some antlers recently because he would like to do a framing on one of his paintings in deer antlers. So we have the deer antlers featured here. You gotta have a snake. It's just New Orleans. Gotta have a snake. Gotta have your alligator in there. Definitely gotta have an alligator. That's a great alligator. Love it. Absolutely love it. Love the smoke, the mist. And if you go up here, this is Keith, right here. He's got himself a little pot, little jar, streaming some mist. I love how he did the mist. And all of these little characters here that are hanging from the tree, the little crosses, little keys, those are all seen on my dolls. If you come in and look at my dolls and look at the things that are hanging from their waist, you'll find keys on a lot of them. You've got your Mardi Gras beads. Love the hat. Again, these little keys right here, literally, and these little crosses are literally the same ones that are he envisioned on my dolls when he was in here. This is just a great piece all the way around. I love it. Fabulous piece. And there's the doll. The doll is created out of floral sprays that look like Spanish moss. She's created out of leather that's embossed to look like alligator in white. She celebrates the albino alligators that we have here in Slidell. You'll see them at the Audubon Zoo. They often don't survive in the swamp because they are easy prey for bigger predators when they're younger. The doll features my Throw Me Something Mr. Mouth. This is what you turn into when you visit the great city of New Orleans and you attend one of our Mardi Gras parades, stroll down Bourbon Street, you get your Throw Me Something Mr. Mouth on. Let's just pop over here for a minute and show you something else. This is one of my favorite dolls from 2015. This particular doll is signed by some of the cast members of the History Channel Swamp People. Terrell Evans and Johnny Panks have signed this doll on her skirt. There's Johnny's signature, and Terrell's is over here on this side. Terrell Evans. Terrell and Johnny were kind of known for capturing some of the nuisance gators. Terrell later went on to do a series for the Discovery Channel in Australia with crocodiles. Very interesting gentleman. And so this is one of the first leather dolls that started in 2015. I had dabbled with leather a little bit pre-Katrina. After Katrina, I discovered Italian and Turkish leathers, and this was one of the very first dolls I made out of Italian leather. She was featured in an art exhibit, Hope for Habitat, Katrina X by Kim Bergeron, and she's also featured in this commemorative book, along with another doll that I made for that exhibit, a drummer, Neil Peart from the rock band Rush. And then here's one of my favorite girls. If you're going to talk about the swamp, you got to look at my Swamp Witch. She's made out of Turkish leather with kimono silk for her body. She is absolutely fabulous. I highlight her with this series today because Keith is doing another painting for me. I supplied him with some photographs of one of my Rougarou dolls. Y'all know I love the legend of the Rougarou. Only in Louisiana will you find that mystical creature, the Rougarou. And Keith is doing a painting currently right now that's going to feature my Rougarou doll and his Lady Orleans. You're going to see her again. Over and over, she's going to come back many different ways, vivid color, always a great expression on her face, a lot of emotion. Check this one out. This one's here at MisChief Creations, MisChief ArtWorx Collective, not for sale, not the original, but we do have canvas prints. The canvas prints are $450. They are numbered and signed by Keith. They are limited to 100. Pop in and grab yourself one. And coming soon, this is the original painting of Marie Laveau and Lady Orleans Hurricane Party in the French Quarter. And coming soon, we will have canvas prints of this one. This is the original painting. It is available. And Keith just came in and signed it for me recently. So, beautiful piece. Love the Dr. John. There's Ozzy Osbourne. Just a great piece all the way around. Keith gets better and better every time he puts another painting out. This one took him 3 months to create. This one took him 2. Check it out. MisChief Creations, MisChief ArtWorx Collective, 1201 Robert Blvd. You can also see the canvas prints of Keith's work and my MisChief dolls at www.mischiefcreations.etsy.com. Check us out.